This conference will now be recorded.
So tell me one thing, is everyone practicing or not?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, Ramji.
So you're not getting any questions, you're not having any doubts? Kathy, Savanti, Divya,
I didn't practice.
For me, no doubts, Ramji. Yeah.
so everything is clear. You are able to practice all the programs without any questions, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, 1 second. Let me open our workspace. Yeah, I will not take much of your time. I will stop exactly at 10:30. Let's complete the topic that we left in the morning. It's November training, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. See, I created a class here, correct? In the first project. In the first project, I created two packages, Comdet My Package and Comdet Package 2, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
in this package, I created 4 classes, and in this package, I created 2 classes, correct?
Yes.
So, and now inside class A, when I create an object of class B, so there is no compilation error because class A knows what is class B because they're part of the same package, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And class A knows what is class C. When you create an object of class C, there is no compilation error because class C understands what is class C, and you can create an object of class C inside class A because they're part of the same package. And human beings class is also part of the same package, so you can create an object for the human beings class inside class A.
Okay.
So, but when you create an object of class Y, when you create an object of class Y, there is a compilation error. When you create an object of class Y, there is a compilation error. But when you create an object of class B, there is no compilation error, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Plus, class A does not know what is class Y. Okay, so the Java compiler is telling, hey, I don't know what is Y. What is Y? So you should tell what is Y. Where is that Y located? Correct?
Yeah. Yes, Ramji.
So it means you have to import that particular class. Import com dot package2 dot y. So this is how you import the class. Correct? Now class A knows what is class Y. Correct?
Yes.
So, but when I create an object for class Z, again it does not know what is Z because class A knows what is Y because you already imported class Y into class A.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't understand what is class Z. So class Z is present inside a Comdet package 2. It's in a different package, and class A is in a different package. So these two classes don't know each other, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now I have to tell class A what is class Z. So I have to import com dot package2 dot z. Okay. So now class A knows what is class Y and class Z. So you can create an object of class Y. You can create an object of class Z.
Okay.
Now when you create an object of class X, so class A does not know what is X because where is this X present? So X is not present in this package. X is not present in this package. The class X is not present in the com.my package. It is also not present in the com.package too. Then where is class X present?
Other
Class
project.
X is present in a different project. Correct.
Yeah.
Class X present in a different project, not in this project.
Okay. Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Okay.
class A does not know what is class X. If class A knows what is class X, you can create the object of class X inside class A, correct?
Yes.
But class A doesn't understand what is class X. So compiler is giving an error. Hey, I don't know what is X because I don't see any class called X in this particular package. In the same, because it will always look for the same package in the same package. Is there any class called X? So there is no class called X. So class A is part of this com.my package. In the same package, it will look for if there is any class called class X. There is no class called class X in the same package. Correct?
Yes.
Compiler is telling I don't know what is class X.
Yes.
So then you have to tell what is class X to class A, correct?
Yep.
So if class X is part of the same project, maybe I can import that class X. But it is not part of the same project. It is written by Divya in her laptop. That particular project is written by Divya, correct?
Yes.
How will my project know whatever the classes written by Divya? Because I don't know what she wrote in her laptop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I told her this project is created in my laptop and this project is created in Divya's laptop. This is what I told in the morning class, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously, this particular project does not know what are the classes written in this particular project. These two are two different projects, correct?
Yes.
So then what should I do? I have to export this entire project as a jar file. Right click on that project, click on export, export as a jar file, click next. So where do you want to export? I want to export on the desktop, correct?
Yeah.
This is the name of the file I want to second project.jar. This is the name of the file I want to export. With this name, I want to export the entire project, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And when I click on finish, so that the entire project is exported as a jar file, and the jar file is there on the desktop, correct? This is the jar file.
Yes.
So now right click on the first project because I have to tell the first project I have to tell the first project about the second project, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So right click on the first project, properties, Java build path, add external, go to the libraries tab, add external jars, click on add external jars, and go to the desktop and select that second project.jar, correct? Okay, and
Yes.
click OK, then it will be added in the build path.
Okay.
Now the first project knows because I added this jar file on the build path of the first project. On the build path of the first project, I added the second project jar file, correct?
Yes.
Now first project knows what is second project. It knows everything about the second project now. It knows about what are the classes present in the second project, right? It knows about what are the packages are there in the second project. In that package, what are the classes are there? Everything is known to the first project, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now go back to your program. So here, now the first project knows all the packages present in the second project. When I say my com.package 1 dot x, correct? So now the first project knows what is package 1 because package 1 is not there in this project. In this project, there is no package called package 1, correct?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in this project, there is a package called package 1, and this entire project is kept on the build path of this project, correct?
Yes.
So this project knows what is package 1, and in that package 1, there is a class called X, correct?
Yes.
So you have to
Yes.
import it. Otherwise, how does this class knows about this class? If you don't import it, correct? They are not part of the same package, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now this particular class here knows what is class X. So now you can create the object of class X, and using that object you can call the add method because inside the class X there is a method called add method, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
So now you can create the object of class X and call the method on that object, correct?
Yes.
Because I need a object to call this method because this is a instance method, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
I need an instance to call this method. Without instance, I cannot call this method. So now I'm calling that method called add method. And what is this add method expecting? So add method is expecting two integer arguments.
Yes.
So you have to pass two integer values. You have to pass the first integer value into this variable, the second integer value into this variable. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So now I'm passing 45 and 76. When I call this add method, what this add method is returning back, because when you call the add method is returning back a plus b. So 45, whatever the values you pass, 45 plus 46, whatever you pass, it will add those two numbers and return the sum of those two numbers back to you. Correct? It is returning a value. When you call it, it is returning a value to you. Correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So whatever the value it is returning, it is actually what value it is returning? It is returning an integer value because the return type is integer.
Integer value.
The return type is integer. It has to return an integer. Correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So whatever the integer value it is returning, you can capture that in an integer variable. So when you call this add method on this object, when you call the add method, this add method is returning a value. So that value is captured in an integer variable, correct?
Yes.
So the value it is returning and capturing that value in a variable. Because it is returning an integer value, I have to capture that in an integer variable. I cannot capture that in a string variable, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Because the return type of this method is integer. The return type of this method is integer, correct?
Yes.
So now when you say sys out result, what it will print? Obviously the sum of 45 plus 76, correct?
Yes. 6.
Okay, so it will print 121. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yes.
So run as Java application.
Java.
Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
So what did I achieve here? What did I achieve here? So I achieved the reusability because this particular add method is written by the Divya. I don't know how to write the add method. I don't know how to add two numbers. So assume that there is lot of logic here. Just assume that there is lot of logic. There are 1,000 lines of code here. Assume that there is 1,000 lines of code here to calculate the sum of two numbers. Okay, and this entire logic is written by Divya. I did not write this logic, correct? Because this particular project is developed by Divya, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So whatever the logic she has written, okay, now I want the same logic because I also want to add two numbers as part of my application. As part of my application, I have to add two numbers. And I don't want to spend time again to write all those 1,000 lines of code. Getting it?
Yes, Ramji.
So if I
Yes,
want to add numbers, so if I can call the method written by the Divya, then my purpose will be solved. Because when I call this method and supply those two numbers to this method will all the logic inside this method will be executed, and finally the sum of those two numbers will be written back to me.
Okay.
Is everyone following what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't want to spend time again to write the add method. Once you write the method, you can reuse the method you can call the method any number of times, correct?
Yes.
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 The same logic can be called, the same logic will be executed every time you call the add method. Every time you call the add method, the same logic will be executed. So the add method is already written by someone else. I want to I want to call the method written by someone else. So they have written a class called X. Divya has written a class called X. He has written a method called add. So I have to create an object of class X and call this add method, correct?
Yes.
So this
Yes.
class is written by Divya, but I can use that class. I can create the object of that class and call the add method on that object.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
what I
Ramji.
want is, I want this class in my laptop, correct?
Yes.
So how will I get that class? He is exporting the entire project as a jar file and giving the jar file to me. So then what I do with that jar file? I'll keep that jar file on the build path of my project.
Yes.
I'll keep the jar file on the build path of my project. Now my project knows all the classes and all the packages that are created by Divya.
Mm.
So now what I'll do is I will open my class and I'll import com.package1.x because now this package is known to my program, to my project. My project knows what is com.package1 because that is already on the build path of the project. So now I'm importing the class X from this project, from this package. I'm importing the class X from this package into this class. Now class A knows what is class X. So now I can create the object of class X and call the add method so that all the 1,000 lines of logic which he has written will be executed and finally I'll get the output and I'm capturing that output in this variable. So just I'm printing the value. I don't need to write, if I want to have two numbers, I don't need to write the entire logic again. He has already written the logic and reusing the logic, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Whatever the topic I'm telling now, it's very, very, very important. Very important. Please try to understand this concept because if you want to understand the Spring framework, if you want to understand the Hibernate framework, if you want to understand any other framework, the same thing will be used.
Okay,
So, for
Ramji.
example, Spring is a framework. Okay. So some people developed for Spring community. Spring community developed the Spring framework. Okay. They developed the Spring framework. Spring framework means they have written so many classes. They have written so many classes, so much of logic. They have written so much of logic. And if you want to use that logic, if you want to use that logic, you have to keep the jar files provided by the Spring framework, the Spring
Uh,
community.
Ramji, there
Sorry,
is some
Ramji, we
disturbance
have
coming from Shanti.
disturbance.
Yeah, I can't
from
hear nothing, Ramji, now.
I think that's Shanti.
Shanti, can you please mute your microphone
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Yes, Ramji. Lot better.
Okay,
Is it?
let me repeat the things again. So if you want to understand the Spring framework, Spring framework or Hibernate framework or any other framework, there are so many frameworks. Okay, so what those frameworks will provide means they will provide a lot of classes. Those people already wrote so many classes. They have written so many methods in the classes. They have written so much of logic already. Getting it?
Yes,
Okay.
Ramji.
And
Yes.
but if you want to use that logic, if you want to use the logic which is written by Spring people, the Spring community people who develop the Spring framework, if you want to use those classes, what you have to do? You have to get the jar files from them. They have to provide you the jar file. For example, if I have to use the logic written by Divya, Divya has to provide me the jar file, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Ramji.
So Divya has to provide me the jar file. She has to send that jar file in the email, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I can download the jar file and I can keep the jar file on the build path of
Yes.
my project. Similarly, if you want to use the logic written by the Spring people, if you want to use the logic written by the Hibernate people, if you want to use the logic written by some other people, wrote so many classes. If you want to use that logic, you have to download the Spring related jars, you have to download the Hibernate related jars and keep those jar files in the build path of your project.
Okay,
Okay.
Ramji.
Whatever the project you are developing, whatever the application you are developing, so you have to download the jar files provided by the Spring framework. So if you go and look at in the internet, if you want to develop a Spring application, just go and click on this jar. It will download the jar file.
Okay.
So the jar file contains so many classes. They have written so many classes. Getting it? You have to just
Yes.
the entire project they developed, the Spring people developed. So they exported the entire project as a jar file, and they made that jar file available in the internet.
Okay.
Getting it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just have to
Okay.
download the jar file and keep the jar file on the build path of your project. So you can use the classes written by them. You
Okay.
can create the object for those classes, and you can call the methods on those on that object. For example, class X is written by Divya. So what I did, I took the jar file from here and kept the jar file on the build path of my project, and now I am creating the object of class X. Class X is written by Divya, but I am creating the object for class X and calling the add method on the object of class X, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So similarly, if you download this particular jar file and put the jar file on the build path of your project, okay? Now you can create the object for the classes given by the Spring people. Getting
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can create the objects for the classes given by the Spring people. Spring people have written so many classes.
Yes.
They have written so many classes. There's a class called application context. There's a class called class path XML application context. There's a class called bean factory. There are so many classes. There are so many classes written by the Spring people. So don't worry about those things now, because we will learn about the Spring framework for 15 to 20 classes. Don't worry about that now.
Okay.
Okay, Ram.
So, but now just I'm trying to give some high level overview. So what are the topic that I explained today is very important topic. So because if you want to use the logic written by someone else, you have to get the jar file from them and put the jar file on the build path of your project, and then you can create the object of that particular class and call the methods on that object.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm telling you again, in each and every class, the only thing I'm saying is I'm writing a class, I will create an object for the class and call the methods on the object. That's all. I will write classes. I will create the object for the class. I will create an object for the class. I'll create an object for class A. I'll create an object for class B. I'll create an object for class C. Now using the class A object, I'll call the functionalities in the class A. And using the
Okay.
class B object, I'll call the functionalities in class B. And using the class C object, I'll call the functionalities in class C. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, that functionality has some logic that you have to write. For example, add is a functionality. Inside the add method, you have to write a logic. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But if you look at high level, you are creating an object and calling the method. That's all. You are creating an object and calling the method, and that method logic will be executed. Of course, you have
Yes.
to write a logic inside the method. But if you look at high level, we are not doing anything else. We are not doing anything else. We are writing classes. Inside the classes, we are writing methods. Now we are creating an object for the class, and using the object, I'm calling a method.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed, Ram.
So that's what I will do for the next 2 months. I will write the classes, I'll write the methods, I'll write the logic inside the methods. So I'll create the object for the class, and using the object, I'll call the methods. Okay.
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 Yes.
So now I hope everyone understood what is meant by import statement, how to import a class into another class. So right now you're importing class Y, and you're importing class Z, and you're importing class X into class A. Now class A knows what is class X, what is class Y, what is class Z. Now inside class A, you can create the object for class Y, you can create the object for class Z, and you can create the object for class X.
Okay.
Any questions here before I proceed to next topic?
No, Ramji.
No.
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 Okay. So next topic is, I already told about arrays, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did
Yes.
you people practice the
Yes.
arrays?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you people practice the for loop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow पर.
You have practiced, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look here, you're seeing a yellow color warnings here, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
meaning of this
Yes.
is you imported the class Y, you imported the class Z, you imported the class X, but you're not using them inside the class A, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I just removed everything. I just removed everything, right? I'm not using anything now. So then, if you're not using class X, if you're not using class Y, if you're not using class Z, then why are you importing that? There is no need to import it, right?
Yes.
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 Giving a warning. Hey, look at this. You are unnecessarily importing a classes. It's not an error. It's not a error, but it's telling you that why are you unnecessarily importing the classes into this class, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So these are called unused imports. These imports are unused. They are not. They are never used in the program, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
these are called unused imports. So Eclipse is giving you a warning. Hey, why are you unnecessarily importing? It's just giving you information. It's not an error. It's not a compilation error. The program is still compiled successfully. Compilation error means it will have a red mark. Here right now you have a yellow mark, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yellow mark means it's a warning. It's
Okay.
giving you a warning. Hey, why are you unnecessarily importing it? That's all. It's giving you information. So as
Yeah.
a good programmer, as a good developer, you should never import the classes which are not required.
Okay.
When you
Okay.
want to write unnecessary lines of code in the program, you have to write the code whichever you have to write the lines of code which is required, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can remove these imports. These imports are not required. Okay.
Okay.
So I can just copy this and I can just delete it. Correct. I mean I
Okay.
can just
Yes.
Yes.
select it and delete it. Okay. But I want to create object of class Z. So class Z is not an unused import. If you look here, the warning symbol is gone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So because I'm using class Z in the program, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
But class Y and class X are unused imports, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Eclipse is telling why are you unnecessarily using it. So how will you delete it? You have to go to this line and you have to delete this. Select it in the backspace, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have
Yes.
to go to this line, select this in backspace, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Suppose if you have another class here, another import here. So for example, this particular import is used. For example, this particular import is used in the program. This is not a assume that this is not an unused import. So suppose if you have another import and this is an unused import, this is unused import and this is a used import. Assume that. Okay.
Okay.
Then if I ask you to remove the unused imports, if I ask you to remove the unused imports, you have to go to each and every line where it is unused and delete one by one, correct? You cannot
Yeah.
just
Yes.
select
Yes.
everything and delete it, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are few imports which are used and few imports which are not used, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to go
Yes.
to each and every line and delete one by one. Agreed or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely, it is a time-consuming task, correct?
Yeah.
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 So right now in this program, this particular import is used, and this particular import is not used, and this particular import is not used. So I have to go and delete this line, and I have to go and delete this line. So I have to delete each and every. I have to go to each and every line and delete those things. I cannot delete in a single shot, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So definitely it's a time-consuming task. I cannot delete everything like this. I cannot delete like this because class Z is used here. I have to tell what is class Z to class A. Otherwise, it's a compilation error. It is not understanding what is class Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Class
Okay.
A does not understand what is class Z if you don't import it. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot delete everything. I have to delete only few statements. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how to delete? How to delete the unused imports without going line by line? So there is a shortcut key, Control Shift, Control Shift, O. O for organize. Control Shift O. That's all. Getting it? Control Shift
Shift
O.
O.
You have to press Control and Shift together, and click and O also to all the three buttons to all the three keys together. Control Shift O.
You say all?
I want everyone to practice these shortcut keys and use the shortcut keys from today onwards.
Yes.
Yes.
You should know the shortcut keys and use the shortcut keys, because tomorrow when you join the companies and when you're writing programs and when you want to remove the unused imports, so just say Control Shift O. Don't unnecessarily go and delete each and every line, which will be taking a lot of time and your efficiency will be reduced. Getting it?
Yes.
Okay.
It will delete only imports, or it will also delete if at all any unused variables we have anything for that one to
No,
write.
only imports. Unused imports,
Only
only
imports,
imports.
okay.
So Control Shift O will delete only unused imports. So O means organize imports. O is nothing but organize. It is organizing the imports. Right.
Okay.
So one second. Suppose if I create an object of class Y, if I create an object of class X, obviously class A does not know what is class Y and class X, correct?
Yes.
So I have to import com dot package 1 dot X, correct? And I have to import
Yes.
com dot package 2 dot Y, correct?
2.5.
So I have to import those classes, correct?
Yes.
Now there are no unused imports, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But still I can organize the imports. How will I organize? Just Control Shift. So observe here, right now it is Z, X and Y, correct?
Yes.
So
Wow.
Yes.
Control Shift O. Now if you look here, you got X first, then Y, then Z. It is organizing the imports in a alphabetical order. It is organizing that.
Mhm.
It is not only removing the unused imports, it is also organizing the imports in a specific order, correct?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
program looks good in that case. So it will look good. When someone look at your program, it is easy. So they can easy, if everything is in order, it's very easy, right? If it is in alphabetical order.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
whatever the program is, the first thing I want to tell everyone is, so of course, when I give you some problem and ask you to write the program to solve that problem, you can write the program. Everyone will write the program. They will write their own logic and they will solve the problem. It's not about solving the problem. It's about how good you're writing the program. Your program should look good. Your program should be efficient. Correct?
Yes.
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 Okay, for example, if I open the browser and if I say www.facebook.com, I'm sending a request to that Facebook server, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I send a request from my browser to the Facebook server, immediately you're seeing the login page on your screen, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, assume that after you send a request, if you get the login page after 30 minutes, if you're waiting for the login page to come up, you send a request, yes, you're getting the correct response, you're getting the login page, but you're getting it after 30 minutes. Do you appreciate that kind of application?
No.
No.
Do you like that kind of application? Will you wait for 30 minutes to get the login page?
No.
No.
So when you send a request, the response should come very fast, correct?
Yes.
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 If you're getting the response after 30 minutes, or if you're getting the response after 1 hour, who will wait for who has time in this busy world? Who is having time to wait for 30 minutes and to wait for 1 hour? Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No one will use that kind of application. That application will be scrapped. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to survive in this competitive world, whatever the application you're developing, that should be efficient. Of course, you're getting the right result. You're getting the right output. It is giving a login page, but after 30 minutes, you're getting the
Yeah.
right output. When you give the input, you're getting the right output, but the efficiency is less. Its performance is less. It's a less performance. Getting it?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what the programs you are writing is not only to solve the problem, also to solve the problem in an efficient way. Getting it?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Yes.
So I know, I mean, I'm just giving some high level ideas about software industry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else on this topic? Did everyone understand what is control shift O?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ramji.
So
Yes.
control shift O is not improving the performance. Control shift O is organizing your code. If someone look at your code, they will like your code because it is organized. Correct?
Yes.
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 Even though you write in a different order, import X, import Z, import Y, import A, even if you write in different order, it is organizing your code. It is organizing the imports. Only imports. Control shift O will organize only imports, and it will remove the unused imports also. Okay.
Okay.
So I want everyone to use this shortcut key whenever it is required. Okay.
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 So next topic is, so yesterday I told about for loop, correct?
Yes, Ramji.
Yes.
Today I'll
Yes.
discuss about while loop. Okay, I'll discuss about while loop and I'll leave this class. And if you observe, I'm just covering basics initially, and I wanted everyone to feel comfortable with the programming. Then I can increase the complexity.
Okay.
So while loop means what? For example, if I say int I is equal to 0, okay, while I less than 100, while I less than 100, this is a while loop. This is not a for loop, it's a while loop, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Ramji.
So for loop also will have a flower bracket opening and flower bracket closing, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And in the for loop, you have three things. One is a declaration of the variable, and the second thing is condition and incremental operator, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So while loop is also almost similar. So here you're declaring the variable outside the loop, not in the loop. Okay. And this is the condition, correct?
Yes.
While 0, right now I value is 0. So 0 is less than 100, correct?
Yes.
0 is less than 100. So condition is satisfied. So it will go inside the while loop. So sys out hello. Sys out hello. So the condition is satisfied. It will go inside the loop and it will execute this logic, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now what I'll do is, after this line, I will increment I plus plus. So first I value 0. 0 is less than 100. It will go inside the loop. It will print it. Then it will increment the value. Again it will go and take the condition. So I value is 1 now. Now right now the value of I becomes 1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 1 is less than 100. Condition is satisfied, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So it will go inside the loop. So it will print it and again it will increment it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's similar to for loop, but it's a different kind of looping mechanism. So this loop will repeat for 100 times. Agreed?
Yes.
And when I run
Yes.
this program, I'll get the hello is print. Hello will be printed for 100 times.
Okay.
Okay. If you
Okay.
want to know it will print 100 times, just hello plus I. So I'm printing hello plus I. I means what? Integer. It's integer. So the value is 0 initially. So hello string plus integer will be concatenated together. Correct?
Yes.
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 So hello
Yes.
printed. Hello 1 will be printed. Hello 2 will be printed. Finally hello 99 will be printed. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you said I less than 100. Because you said I less than 100. So when I value becomes 99, 99 is less than 100. So condition is satisfied. It will go inside and the I value becomes 100. But 100 is not less than 100. Correct? So
Yes.
the
Yeah.
condition is
Yes.
broken and will come out of the while loop. We got hello 90 till hello 99.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is repeated for 100 times from hello 0 to hello 99. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is about the while loop. See, if I'm explaining all these things means definitely I will use these concepts in the coming classes. So you have to know what is a for loop. You have to know what is a while loop. I am going to use all these things in the coming classes. So
Okay.
when I write while loop, when I write for loop, you should not be surprised. Because you already know what are these things, and I don't want to explain again what is while loop and what is for loop.
Okay.
So in the future, when I'm going to write the programs, and in the programs, if I use a for loop and if I use a while loop, you should not have any surprises. You should know what is a while loop and what is a for loop.
Okay,
Yes.
Ramesh.
I am going, so trust me, I'm going to use these loops like anything in the coming classes, in the future.
Okay.
So you should know what is a while loop, how to write the while loop, how to write the for loop. That is the reason I'm taking time now to explain all these basics. Okay?
Okay, Ramesh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all for today. And tomorrow morning we'll have a class again. So we'll have a class at. Can we have little early if it is okay to you guys? I don't know if it is okay to the other girl who is going for part time.
Yeah.
So
All right.
can we have at 8 o'clock if it is possible?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you have
Ramesh.
interest,
Yeah.
let me know so that I can have the class at 9 o'clock only.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock is fine to everyone?
Yes.
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 Sorry?
It's fine.
Whoever has concerns, please speak out. That's, I mean, I can understand that
That,
if you have concerns.
that's fine. Actually, I live in California, like you, Ramsey. That's fine. I'm good.
Okay. So, okay, we'll do one thing in that case. We'll meet at 8:30. Is it fine?
Okay.
Okay.
Because I have some work at 9:30. So if I start a class at 9 o'clock, I mean, it's where only 30 minutes class will happen.
Okay.
Okay, Ramsey.
Okay.
Fine. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
let's meet at 8:30 Eastern time in the morning. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.